did, but
that was it.
I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna listen to this game on the radio. I said that before I saw who was going to the Super Bowl. But then I told myself, you know what, as a football fan,
you gotta watch.
I need to do myself a favor and sit down and watch this game.
A lot better than last year's.
Yes, I'm speaking. Yes, it was.
Anything was a lot better than last year.
Yeah, the halftime show was better than the game last year.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
But last year's halftime show I think was better than this year's halftime.
Yeah, I like the halftime show last year. But this game right here was definitely one for the Bulls. And I saw some tweets that people said this game was boring. I don't.
This game was born when Seattle was up 10.
Yeah, I don't know how you can call
it didn't get boring.
No, it was a good game. It was back and forth. There was a lot of mismatches. It's like chess. You had to figure out how to attack this, because once a few injuries went down, like Kevin said, they attacked this certain guy.
They attacked that dude.
They went this certain way. Patriots doing dinking nothing this way, doing a lot of things to control the clock of the game. Russell Wilson.
They did do that.
Who I felt like Russell Wilson did not run the ball, and Kevin said as well. He did not run the ball as much as we thought he should have.
And he didn't run it because there was plays where he had the corner every single time. He was freezing whoever was in front of him every single time he broke the corner. It didn't matter if that dude was running full speed at him. He still was able to freeze him.
Yeah.
They needed to get him outside of the pocket and let him go, and they just didn't do it. But his deep ball throws from the pocket, people that said that he's not a good pocket passer are full of crap. If you watch that game, you can see Russell Wilson is a good pocket passer.
Yeah.
He was dropping those deep balls on a dime. He's a good pocket passer, but if he's only going to throw the ball 21 times, you need to get him more running plays. Mm-hmm. You need to keep him involved in the ball game.
Yeah.
Because keeping your quarterback involved in the ball game, especially in this kind of offense, you got to keep him involved running the ball as well, especially if that's one big part of your game.
Yeah.
And I was almost close to saying how many yards he was going to have.
Yeah. And one more final thought is that the Karma train was in full effect in the playoffs. I'm just gonna say it, man. I didn't think Karma was gonna hit that quick, but it did. Short lines got screwed over on a call.
Dallas gets screwed over on a call.
Yep, Dallas got screwed over on a call.
Green Bay lost.
And then what happened is Green Bay got I know there's Green Bay was something.
If Karma would have caught up with him, it would have been.
Oh no, yeah, Green Bay lost the onside kick there.
Yeah,
and then come down here, 20 seconds left.
If Karma would have came up to it, New England should have lost because they cheated. That would have been Karma catching up.
I mean.
But I understand what you mean. It was always a fluke. A fluke play would get you there.
It was, yeah. I mean, as far as the NFC, I just feel like
no, it wasn't allegedly. They flattened balls. They come out and said that the balls were flatter, which it don't. To me, it don't matter. I don't care.
Yeah, it don't.
But
matter.
that would have been Karma with them losing.
Yeah.
It was just fluke plays after fluke plays after fluke plays during the playoffs.
I just felt like with all it was just so much. At least in the NFC side. As far as the Patriots, I don't know. I guess they just got hit with enough karma with the Giants that they had.
Patriots ran so many pick plays though during that game. I'm amazed half of them didn't get called. Mm-hmm. Like there was for a Super Bowl with a really penalized team, there wasn't a lot of flags.
Yeah. That
got called. It was just weird. I was waiting for 19 hands to the face calls like we've been getting during the year.
I like, and to add one more thought, it was finally good to get to the game because of the distractions of the deflating the balls and Marshawn Lynch not speaking to the media.
Which who cares about none of this?
And it was just like, okay, that was these two teams got interesting characters, and they even asked Gronkowski about a question like, so why you like going out and everything like that, and why you like going to the club? And he answered simply, because I'm a baller. You wouldn't expect anything less from Rob Gronkowski.
And the best thing to come out of the week was him and Marshawn Lynch playing Mortal Kombat.
Yes, that was awesome. So it was fun, and I know this is the last.
She's blowing a bubble. She's blowing bees.
This is
point blank, right in the face in broad daylight.
So.
If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Yes, it was a wonderful football season. And
now it's over.
Me and Kevin will be discussing further on as far as free agency.
Football over until March 10th.
And we'll be keeping keys on that as well. So then we got some National Signing Days coming up tomorrow for college football.
Tomorrow.
So, football still be very active. But
football is 20. The NFL has done such a nice, a good job in spreading it out where you're talking about football all year long. There's really no, you'll come out of this, we'll come out of the season combine.
Yeah.
You'll have the combine free agency. You'll have free agency draft. You have the draft pre-things, all the rookie
OTAs,
combines and all that stuff. Start starting up to where you can go and see your team in May.
Yeah.
So
it's going on around here. So
it'll pick up. In April, we'll be back down at the stadium watching rookies play ball.
So there you go. So football's still in effect. Matter of fact, we'll be back and discuss some of the awards here. So me and Kevin take a brief moment and discuss a little bit more football and talk about these year's awards and Hall of Fame class of 2015.
Who got gypped.
So we'll be back and talk about that. So stay tuned. This is the Boston Court Podcast.
On our way home, we spoke of many things. Are we allowed to make brand new
Welcome back to the Boston Court Podcast. Cortez, Paul, and Kevin Carter back for the second part of our show, as we like to call the final leg. I don't know.
You just made that up.
I know. I just
kind of made
that up, like it's
as we call the end.
The end, something like that. So, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and hop in some more NFL and discuss the NFL award show.
The other crap. Oh.
The other crap.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk because they have handed out awards before they play the Super Bowl. And we'll go to Bitcoin. Aaron Rodgers is this year's MVP. This is a guy who brought in, as far as his stats, he was 341 from 520. As far as pass was completed versus what he attempted. Through 65% completion percentage, he was 4,381 yards, 38 touchdowns, 5 receptions. Kevin, your thoughts about him being the MVP? I mean, I know there's many lists that's deserving, but let's hear your thoughts about Aaron Rodgers being the MVP.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. He had a great season. Mm-hmm. His running game at the beginning of the season was very suspect. Yeah. Eddie Lacy no-showed, and later on in the season he showed. Yeah. I think Aaron, after the first few games, he relaxed, and then he ended up coming through and having a real great season. So I see no problem in giving it to him.
I'm totally okay.
There's a list. You can go Tony Romo, DeMarco Murray,
Tom Brady,
Tom Brady,
J.J. Watt.
No. J.J. Watt would
Why
not
not
be.
J.J. Watt?
J.J. Watt is not an MVP. He does not take your team and turn it into this great dynamic force. He takes your defense and turns it into... You took a crappy defense and turns it into a pretty good defense just because he's on it. He doesn't make your whole team great. He doesn't deliver wins for your whole team. He can't come in and within a drive completely change the aspect of a ball game with a game-winning touchdown drive. It's not, defensive guys are not going to win MVPs anymore. It's almost a quarterback-only award.
I disagree, man. I think he has every shot to be on that list. In his fourth season where he got 20 sacks again, 2 seasons in a row.
That's why he won Defensive Player of the Year.
Hey, yeah, it was unanimous, of course.
That's why he won Defensive Player of the Year.
But he definitely had a shot to win MVP, what he was doing.
No, where was his team again? Oh, that's right.
Well, one game out the playoffs, right?
That's right, but did they make the playoffs?
Definitely one game out the playoffs.
Did they make the playoffs?
Hey.
Did they make the playoffs in a very crappy division? My sentiments exactly. There you go.
I don't know. To me, I thought he should at least have some consideration and everything like that. So
he probably got 6 votes.
He got a couple votes.
He probably got votes, but I just no.
I'm not a test for Aaron Rodgers getting it. I'm actually okay with it because he's one of the guys that went undefeated. Well, the only guy his team went undefeated at home. Yeah, on the flip side, yes, you had Tony Romo and DeMarco Murray who had their teams went undefeated on the road. So yeah, those guys got some consideration. Tom Brady, the way his
that's why
season
DeMarco
started.
Murray won offensive player.
Yeah, and that's with that. I think it was a very good call on Aaron Rodgers winning it. And,
yep. And
he's a total sports guy, pro, and everything like that. And Kevin believed that he is the future. But yeah, just kind of double check out he's doing the motion over here. But Aaron Rodgers is definitely the future of class quarterbacks coming up here with a few select others. But Aaron Rodgers to me, man, I feel like he's one of those guys that we can be talking about.
We'll be talking about him next year winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And I think, I'm with you. I think he can definitely win it next year because he's, like Kevin said, he's out the pocket, man. He's just as accurate outside the pocket as he is in the pocket.
He just has to, his injuries, mm-hmm. he has to make sure he stay injury free. Because I think if he's not injured against Seattle, they beat Seattle. Yeah. Definitely the way they were playing that game. If he was healthy, and you could see it on that one play, if he was healthy, they would have beat Seattle. The one where you're yelling, "Run!" and I'm like, he can't.
So, but yeah, Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay's got of course a wonderful future ahead of them. So
they just got to keep the guys around him, which I think they will.
They do. All right, DeMarco Murray, as Kevin just mentioned, he's Offensive Player of the Year. DeMarco Murray had 392 attempts for 1,845 yards. A
lot of freaking rush.
Average 115.3 yards per game.
Well, when you get the ball that many times, you better.
So, I mean, there's really no debate here. I mean, he did a wonderful job. Nobody didn't think that was going to be where they're at as far as record-wise.
Well, everybody thought they wasn't going to be record-wise because of their defense.
Yeah.
Which turned out to be, they turned out to be better than what they thought they were going to be. But they did this year what they should have done every other year.
Yeah.
As far as running the ball goes, they didn't stray away from the running game this year like they did in the past.